Hey guys, it's DemonKiller82 here, and I've got a new series for you called Weapon Comparison, where I'll compare two weapons from the same class and tell you the difference. First up, I'm using the M416 and the M16A3 and comparing the differences between them. I'll go through each gun first and tell you what I think about them, their pros and cons, and then at the end I'll tell you which one I think is better or if both are just as good. Now first we've got the M16A3. Now this gun is known as like the most used gun in Battlefield 3. Probably understandable because it's the first one you start with, but because its performance has been used by almost every major YouTuber and otherwise when they're playing a game. Now, it used to be the most perfect thing until a patch, which reduced a couple of things about it to make it less favorited and make it a much more of an all-rounded weapon. Basically what the patch did was it removed the ability to get kills at long range by increasing the spread at long range and the recoil. There used to be a lot less recoil to this gun, however now if you see it you have to like almost single shot. You can still get them but you need to be very accurate, and originally you could probably burst fire and still get long range kills. However that is no longer possible because of the patch. But aside from that, the gun is still impressive. Its reload time is, I believe, the most fastest reload time in all the assault rifles, and it also has really good hip fire, especially when in tight situations such as like close quarters maps. It is very good obviously for close to mid-range combat. It is just barely good at long-range combat, which it used to be quite good at. However, it's still pretty good at taking kills if you're in the right range zone, which is what I think makes it a good gun. I think what DICE's objective was to nerf it in a sense so that it's only good at mid-range combat, but it's still effective, however if not perfect. That way it makes room for other guns to be effective at long range if not close range. As you can see, the gun is more suited to burst firing and singular fire. It used to probably be able to be fired a lot faster, however like I said the patch introduced a lot of recoil, making it a lot more difficult to use, but I can still get quite a number of kills with it. And also my aim this footage is not that good because this was one of my first play sessions back after not playing Battlefield 3. So if it looks like my aim is off and I'm not going on massive kill streaks, it's why. But also this server had a lot of people dropping out and playing a sniper, so it wasn't the most liveliest of servers I could find. But it's hard to find a good metro server anymore, even though it's a good map. Anyway, now I'm on the attacking side, and I find that this gun is a lot more effective when you're attacking because you have to run into close range situations, whereas when you're defending, as you saw, I was doing a lot of long range situations where I had to just pick off people who weren't even advancing. Obviously that won't always happen because you'll have people running for the MCOM, but that wasn't very active. Unfortunately I couldn't run that far though too, but you can see how you can go from like arming an objective or not focusing to then aiming. Oh, and here's a bit of like really bad math shooting. I really hate those things, so which is why I try so hard, but I cannot hit them sometimes. They're the most annoying thing to try and move. But like I was saying, with the M16 you can adapt to a situation very quickly. It's got obviously a very fast aim down sights, and you can fire as long as you burst fire you can go quite well, and I can even save people like I did there. So when you need a gun that's actually going to perform quite fast and get you out of a really sticky situation at the last minute, the M16 is quite effective at that. And like you see here, I can even burst fire it at just like short, long range, if you know what I mean. But not any further than that would I probably be able to kill someone without like singular fire, and if I was very lucky as well. As you can see here, look, I can just put it up and kill him. He had a USAS and he didn't get a single shot off on me. As long as you peek your corners with this thing, it can work. And unfortunately I did not peek my corner here, as you can see. But in terms of a hipfire weapon, this is probably the gun I would go for, because if it as an assault rifle obviously. But if I needed an assault rifle with good hipfire, it would have to be this one, or maybe even the AEK. But this one is really effective at hipfire, as you can see here. And yeah, overall I would say the M16 is a hipfire gun. It's not a long range gun like it used to be, however I would use it in maps such as Metro, Bazaar or Sin. I would not use it on maps such as Karg or Wake Island or back to Karkan, because those are just too long range for the M16 to handle. It used to be able to handle those, but due to the patch it can't. And I reckon that is the reason why before the patch it was used the most, because it was an assault rifle that could handle extremely well in close situations and still get the job done at long range. Look at that guy, thinks he's going to hide in the train cars. Never tried that before. Anyway, here we are moving up onto the B objective on this one, and this is when you need the M16 the most, because you need this loaded skills. Unfortunately here I can't get many kills because this guy decides to M3 training me, but it's situations like that where the M16 is suited to best. Now we're on to the M416. Now this thing is just a god at long range. As long as you don't overfire it, you keep it short bursts and singular fire, you can take care of almost any long range situation, as you can see here. With an M16 I probably would have been able to get that kill, but it might not have been as accurate. This gun has a good enough recoil and is accurate enough to take care of these long range situations. Its reload time was reduced due to a patch. It used to be quite long, however it is still not as fast as the M16, but it gets the job done. However, I would always recommend, if you're low on ammo, if you're less than like half ammo, you should always reload, because I've been caught a number of times getting killed because of the reload time on this gun. Obviously it's not terrible or anything, but basically I would have been saved a lot more times with an M16 reload than I would an M416. But anyway, this gun, in terms of what areas it performs well in, it's obviously long range and mid range. However, short range, it's not as perfect as M16, but it still gets the job done. You can hip fire this gun. I would not recommend it too much, but in a short range situation, if you aim down your sight, you can still get the job done. If you'll see here in a minute, there's some guys coming around the rock, I think. I might be wrong. No, maybe not. Let's lay it wrong. But yeah, what I find about this gun is it's not an effective hipfire gun, but it still gets the job done, making it much more all-rounded than the M16, which is what the M16 used to be, really. It used to be all-rounded, but this gun actually can get hipfire done. I just wouldn't recommend it if I had to choose a gun for hipfiring. But obviously, I am not using one-man army from Call of Duty, so I cannot switch guns on the go. Be cool if I could, though. The thing to note about this gun is it may also be suited more to an AGOG sight if you're planning to use it for its long-range abilities. I'm using a holographic sight on this one as I did on the M16, and if you're wondering, I'm also using a heavy barrel on both to compare them. I found that foregrips aren't that effective anymore with these types of weapons. Other weapons it can be, but not this one. Anyway, like I was saying though, if you wanted to use this on a map such as Karg or back to Karkand, then I would recommend putting an AGOG sight on it, because since it's so effective on long range, I would probably, on the maps like that, pull out my pistol for like buildings or short range areas, and I would just stick to this the whole time, because it's that effective. Also, I would not recommend using this with anything but the heavy barrel. You could put, I've noticed you can put foregrip on it and it still performs similar, but I think for like, if you're a pro and you like to get the best results possible, then I would just keep it as an underslung with a heavy barrel. Same as the M16, I would just keep the heavy barrel on that. Unless I was playing close quarters, I might consider putting the foregrip on it. But like I said, that normally depends on your personal preference. As to sights do, I said that an AGOG sight would be good, but when it comes to sights, it's really your recommendation. And that's about it. Here I've run out of ammo, so I finished the game by going pistol crazy, see if I can get any kills. Overall, I would say that both guns have their pros. I would use them in different situations, some in close quarters, some long range, as I've said. I would never use one and expect it to perform in all areas perfectly. I would say the M416 is much more well-rounded, so if I had to choose a gun that I would find marginally better, it would be the M416, but that does not mean the M16 has not got its uses. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope to put more videos of this out, and I'll try and find guns that I use a lot and compare them both. This is the Demon Killer A2, I hope you've enjoyed the video, and please subscribe.